in the semi-final there as well. But we're back. We're going to be setting up here, and let's put Fnatic under the microscope here. Like you said, Coolmat will be on that 76, Half-Cool on the Diva. There is a lot of peel, a lot of protection for the supports here, and a very strong, staunch front line of 3 tanks.
Yeah, and I love Bud's on the Roadhog. I feel like he's been a very good Roadhog throughout this event. I mean, we saw when they went up against NIP, like he was going toe-to-toe with Himsy, who a lot of people say is best Roadhog in EU. He's insane with his hooks, lands every single one. But it'll be Misfits on offense. You'll see soon. Stay on the Tracer. Nevix will go with Genji. Skipjack will be playing the sole tank in this comp. He'll be playing Winston. They're going to stick with the Widowmaker again. So it's the same comp. You say you were not a big fan of the Genji, though.
Only if there was going to be a quad tank. If there's a triple tank here, I'm okay with that, because if Nevix gets Coolmat as well, that's just nuts. You are loving life right now. So that's fine. I'm more thinking about it against NIP-style compositions here that also that might have a Mei as that sort of that loose player that's a little bit hard to pick up. So this is fine by me. It's fine, especially what Nevix can do with it. This guy is ridiculous.
I'm glad your approval has been given for Nevix.
Yeah, he's got my steal, yeah.
He's got my stamp of approval, yeah. But you'll see Nevix trying to take the high ground here. He's just going to push back Coolmat, and that's going to give Zebasai some more room to work. But it's going to be cooler getting hooked by Buds there at the beginning. So you're going to lose the Lucio on the side of Misfits. You see Diva getting right into Zebasai's face. It's going to be Helical taking out one. Now he's going to push forward, going to land a lot of shots. Heathen's not going to be able to survive through that. So it's going to be Fnatic getting an early hold. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good from Nex to get a couple kills there as well. It does eventually get taken down, but Fnatic aren't just sitting in the server room to toast some s'mores over the fire. So Misfits are so preoccupied with trying to find a pick through the shield, and all Buds does is walk up onto the causeway and hook Cooler, who obviously is not going to try and access the high ground. He's just going to try and have a good overview to call from that position. So he gets caught out on his own, and from there it's like, okay, well, Misfits now going to struggle. And then also, Half-Cool doing a good job. He will need to interrupt Zebasai as much as possible. Well, and also, I mean, with the fact that Misfits is not running a Reinhardt, the hooks are a little bit easier for Buds to hit. So you'll see Zebasai set up on top, and it's got Winston directly in front of him.
Block the shot there.
It's like okay, I can't really see anything. But now Zebasai going to get a good line of sight, and he's got Heathen up there with him, and he's just laying down shots. Now Heathen's going to get pushed back here by Half-Cool. Half-Cool's just doing an excellent job just finding where Zebasai is and pushing right towards him, and he's going to get nano boosted, charged up, and he's going to push straight through. Yeah, Skipjack eventually going to go down. They've got cut very low, but that's a Dragon Blade coming out from Nevix. He found Custer as well. Half-Cool couldn't defend his supports against the Dragon Blade. It's not a projectile. He can't use his defense matrix to stop that. And now Half-Cool all of a sudden finds he's on his own, and that's a scary realization to have. He attempts the self-destruct there. It doesn't catch on anyone, and he eventually drops to Soon. Coolmat's in a decent position to flank, but he lacks protection, he lacks peel, and if he doesn't move from this point, he's going to be jumped on by Misfits as they come looking for him. Great hit shot. Coolmat hits the deck, and Zebasai cleans him up with the shot. For a second there, I was like, if Fnatic can get some players on the payload in the front, maybe stay alive for a little bit, you'll have Coolmat able to come from a flank and maybe able to make something happen where they come in and just try and pinch on it. But Zebasai just turns around the corner and hits a fantastic headshot onto Coolmat, takes him out. His Widow play has been absolutely nutty throughout this event, and you'll see now it's going to be the side of Misfits advancing the payload. They get control of the high ground as well, so it's not a good spot for Fnatic to fight from. Yeah, to be fair, Fnatic still have an opportunity to set up, though, at least in middle shuttle here. Soon is more of a deterrent. He's not going to stop them from being here in general. So Fnatic still get position. Coolmat drops down behind, but it was going to be a Transcendence use there anyway, so he wouldn't have done damage. Nevix finds him regardless there. No Dragon Blade. And Skipjack now going to go Primal Rage. He's going to be knocking Stoop around, juggling the big Reinhardt. Eventually he's Earth Shatter down, but no kills that resulted from that use of the ultimate there from Stoop, or whoever it was that knocked him down. I believe it was Stoop there. So maybe not ideal, and Misfits haven't been stopped yet. With Skipjack finding Half-Cool, Stoop is endangered species, and he gets cut down by Nevix. Yeah, and you actually see it's going to be Coolmat switching over towards the Winston. They need to deal with the Nevix. Genji has just been way too much, and see, he does have the Dragon Blade now. He's just going to dash up, get out of harm's way. They're going to fall back a little bit here, is Misfits. But you see actually a big Pulse Bomb going to keep the Widow alive for the side of Misfits. Fantastic play there by Soon. Yeah, Buds couldn't move when he hooked. You can't move once you've hooked, so he actually kind of killed himself there by hooking his opponent. The Pulse Bomb claimed him eventually. Zebasai, this is very much frontline sniping, but we've seen him do it well on Anubis before. And with Skipjack and Soon doing so much, Zebasai is enabled to have freedom in the back line. No one from Fnatic can jump with them there as well, and Misfits will not be stopped. Now an attempted whole hog coming out here from Buds is going to be denied, summarily sent backpacking. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Fnatic now are in a weird position to spawn as well. Oh, and it is just such a difficult comp to deal with, because you want to put pressure on this Widow in the back, but you just cannot get there because the pressure coming in from Nevix and Soon all the way in the back, and especially with Skipjack as well, is playing that Winston, putting a lot of pressure too. So Misfits, they definitely found an interesting comp that is working here as they are advancing the payload. You do not want to see this Widow. It's Zebasai who's been playing very well. You see all those headshot markers. On the side of Fnatic, you do have the D.Va self-destruct and you have the nano boost, so expect them to fight on this corner.
Yeah, I like the switch here as well. Nevix goes to Mei. He sees quad tank. He's like, okay, no more Genji. Smart man. You smart, you loyal. Let's see if it works out. Hafakul pressing forward there, straight up behind Skipjack, and there's not much you can do when those guns are firing. Nevix able to find Custer, but this will should still be a disengage there, although Nevix may have missed the memo here. He and Soon are still chopping in the bit. Good pulse bomb, but no. Stoop shuts it on down. 3 kills for him to stop Misfits.
Now you see Coolmat, he's going to get back towards his teammates, not going to fight that one much longer. And you see Stoop, he will have an Earth Shatter. They'll have a Sound Barrier. Fnatic going in the next one. They do save that self-destruct. You see Soon switches off of Tracer. He's going to go over to Reaper as well. So you see the entire comp for Misfits change here. You're going to have Zebasai switch over. He's going to be running Zarya. You're going to have the Reaper come out, and Nevix going to be running the Mei. So just like you said, they're setting up to really go at this 4-tank lineup. But just like that, Coolmat switches off and goes over to Soldier 76. You see the D.Va self-destruct come in. It's going to be Havoc able to take out Skipjack, and Bud's going to win one there. He switches over to McCree. So you see the changes coming in from both sides.
Yeah, and the vulnerability of Reaper at the moment has been revealed there. You see Soon is just going to eat a sleep dart there. Nicely done by Custer. And Buds does want to play the Roadhog here, and reasonably enough. We did see Nevix switch away from the Genji, so he doesn't need to worry about playing McCree. I mean, these guys could try and play back and forth switching here. And Zebasai going for the D.Va. That's interesting indeed. No more Widow. Fair enough as well. Let's see what he's got on D.Va.
It looks like, with his D.Va, we're going to get a pause, but it looks like the D.Va plan was to really just kind of fly up, knock them off of that high ground, and then really fight them down in the street. That's what the idea was behind the D.Va, because at the side of Misfits, they had nothing to really engage that top.
And again, if you are playing up on the top side, though, as Fnatic, you face a difficult decision. If the attacking team is moving the payload close to the bridge, you either use the high ground to get picks and secure yourself a good fight, but in doing that, you allow the payload to get a little bit closer than it otherwise should. It make more progress than maybe you should let it. Or you take the risk and drop down and boots on the ground and actually start a fight there. And we actually saw it in one case, I think it was last time we saw Gibraltar, I think it might have been Complexity, is that they allowed the payload to get very, very close to the checkpoint before they started to fight.
Yeah, the payload in that series, I remember watching that, like made it the entire payload underneath the bridge before they decided to jump down and fight.
Less than ideal.
Yeah, no, not an ideal situation to be in. You see Skipjack there.
The German Wonder Boy.
It's like, oh wait, we're playing again? Hold on.
I guess we're back, boys.
Get ready, yeah. But he actually switches off of Winston and he goes over to Reinhardt. So that's why they needed that D.Va to force the issue on the high ground.
Well, we're back in game apparently, but I'm looking at your beautiful faces. Not sure which I prefer, to be honest. They're both nice, but no, let's try it again. Hello, what's going on here? Blizzard comes out from Nevix. What are we seeing? Zebasai now on the high ground, shutting down Coolmat, preventing him from getting good value out of that Tac Visor nano boost there. No kills from him. The Misfits are being gunned down. It's a 4v6 situation now as the respawns do come through. It needs to be a clean fight for Misfits to actually finish this map, especially with the stall potential from the last point.
Well, and also with the fact that you're going to have the McCree and Soldier from the side of Fnatic, just so much consistent damage that they're able to lay down from above. And now you see it's going to be Misfits. They're going to go back to the Tracer, they're going to go back to the Genji, and they have the D.Va to force the issue on that high ground. And you will have a Deadeye for the side of Fnatic in this next fight, and you'll have the Transcendence and the Sound Barrier for the side of Misfits. And you see the Sound Barrier coming in for Misfits. They have Coolmat Weave. Fantastic shots there by Soon.
That's great stuff there. Coolmat trying to get away back to spawn to get some health back. And Custer, what are you doing? Oh, Soon's just going to eat you up. That's exactly what a Tracer wants to see. And Anna on its own. Vonethil now up on that payload, trying just to keep it going. There will be a short stall phase here. Skipjack could charge, though. He should. Buds avoids it, though. He's still going to get towards the point. No, he's cut down. Stoop goes there. He charges the exploding D.Va out of the way. That's not part of the plan at all. And no, it will we Misfits that finish the map. Not a lot of time left, but still enough to be going on with.
No, pretty good defensive hold for Fnatic. You know, they switch over to the double hit scan. They're able to hold a little bit longer there towards the end. But that last fight, I mean, the Fnatic just did not kill anyone there. It was a clean sweep for Misfits. They get onto the point. Very good work to get that D.Va ult out of the way. Nah, it'll be Fnatic now on offense. I wonder what do they go with. If they go to a 4-tank, if they do Coolmat on the Soldier and stick with Buds on Roadhog and just kind of play a little bit more standard from what we're seeing?
I think so. I think in between these two teams is more likely that Fnatic is, I mean, okay, maybe a Buds Widowmaker. Possibly, but I think they probably go for something a little bit more robust. I don't want to see Sombra on attack on Gibraltar. It's not like those other hybrid maps here. It's very different in that regard, and it's much harder to make Sombra shine. We might see something standard though, that's fine. Buds with the hooks, Fnatic move together as a unit, I don't mind this, especially if they can get high ground control by flanking all the way back around. It will be a lot of onus on towards Zebasai to do damage because his team, you better believe, will be giving him the freedom to work. Like a surgeon, of course, he and Nevix will be up on the high ground. They're doing a lot of damage, and that will demand attention from Fnatic.
Yeah, and the main changes from Misfits offense to defense will be Nevix. He will be playing the Soldier instead of Genji, and Skipjack will go over to Reinhardt instead of Winston. Obviously, give his team that shield to be able to fire from the high ground early.
And we'll have to be here and just looping back around there. Wanted to try and jump across the edge, but I don't think that works. I mean, yeah, maybe if you have a Lucio speed boost, but it's not easy to make that jump.
Oh,
yeah.
0 for 2.
He wants to get up there, though. He really does, because he needs to work with Soon. And of course, if he actually charges up those balls and then fires them around the corner, kind of predictively, like we saw Buds try and hook in that position. Because Buds is very, very good at Roadhog. He will always fire off a predictive hook as he approaches that high ground area where we're seeing Soon and Hidan set up.
There'll be Fnatic on offense here, as we just saw Misfits complete the map. Not a lot of time remaining, though, their time bank system. So we'll see how Fnatic decides to play this. They'll be running with the Roadhog, the D.Va, the Reinhardt. Both supports, you'll see Zenyatta and Lucio. Then also it'll be Coolmat, who's been running a very good 76 throughout this entire tournament. 76 making a big comeback after the last update. But you will see Misfits. They're going to hold that high ground, and they got to be careful as Fnatic pushes under the bridge. Zebasai up there trying to line up some shots as Widowmaker.
Coolmat testing the waters there as well. His presence at the doorway is going to force Skipjack to stand a little bit further back and allow Fnatic to get a bit closer there. Soon, almost biting off more than he can chew, but he's able to elude his potential captors there with a well-timed recall now. But this gives Fnatic ground. They can go up to the high ground now. I want to see how Misfits respond. Maybe they should just swap sides. I think that's even what they're doing now. So Fnatic, eventually, they still have to come forward and face the music. This hasn't given them that much of an advantage, I'd like to think. That shield will break eventually.
No, it's a really odd scenario to see teams just switch sides on the high ground here on Gibraltar, and you see Coolmat just laying a lot of fire down into the shield. He's able to break the shield of the side of Misfits. So Skipjack not gonna have that shield. He gets really low on HP. Zebasai trying to knock down these shots.
Surely not.
Oh, it's gonna be Custa able to take him out with a fantastic right click there, and it's gonna be Soon though. Quickly picks him up as Tracer. Soon just being such a nuisance in the side of Fnatic. You see he's gonna lay down that pulse bomb. He's able to get one player with it. How is he still alive?
Soon is a god on Tracer. Incredible stuff from him, especially after Zebasai made a mistake there to challenge that platform. Custer was there, he could do it on his own, but Coolmat was also off to the side, so a bit of a miscall, but that was stunning from Soon. Again, unassisted pulse bomb kills are the business. They are the business, Matt, and that has stopped Fnatic in their tracks. 2 minutes and 12 now to get to the first checkpoint.
Just think about the play that he just made. I mean, he killed Kusta and Coolmat up top, dropped down, took out Stube and Vonethil. 4 players in about, what, 15, 20 seconds there from... Oh, that is just so sick from Soon. Just absolutely putting Misfits on his back. He's actually able to pick up one at the beginning of this fight, so now you're going to see Misfits with the man advantage already, and they're going to get really aggressive.
Zebasai as well can have attack visor. He'll use this in a moment. He'll wait till the spawn from Fnatic comes in, because this means that Misfits can read into the setup, right? Nothing's going to be able to take them by surprise. If Fnatic change the heroes, they're going to know by the outlines. They're also going to know how Fnatic approach this point where they come from. And that's big. That's very, very big, because that could potentially give them an auto fight win, and that means Fnatic will have one more chance to get that first checkpoint after that.
And with the way things are going, I mean, Misfits in the only fight they've had thus far is really just invested the pulse bomb into it. They have everything else. I mean, they're going to have an Earth Shatter. You see Zebasai is actually going to use...
There it is.
His Widowmaker ult, and you see Buds bringing out a Widowmaker for the side of Fnatic. He's going to try and get a pick up top here, but oh, beautiful shot there. Able to land a headshot on a Zebasai. So now that the enemy Widow's out of the way, let's see what Fnatic decides to do, but it's going to be Nevix able to take Buds out with a quickness after that. He's going to have his tack visor popped. You see the Transcendence going to be forced out from the side of Fnatic and the sound barrier as well, so Fnatic investing a lot here.
Self-destruct on the payload there as well, but Skipjack studiously get that shield up and he blocks an Earth Shatter. That's how you win the mind games out. Look at Zebasai, free to do as he pleases, and that is deal damage. He is really making life hard for Fnatic now, and Coolmat does fall too soon. Nicely done by Misfits. They drew every ultimate out of Fnatic. They didn't use all of their own, but there is one more chance for Fnatic now. They will lose the map if they don't get this first checkpoint, and they've got 25 seconds to do it, Matt.
And Fnatic is not close to any ultimates whatsoever at all. I mean, they're working towards this Widowmaker ult, but that really does not help them too much in this last fight. We'll see what they decide to do. 15 seconds left. They need to at least get on the payload, contest it to force this into OT. You see the tanks moving through server room. Buds trying to play for that high ground. He knows Zebasai is up there, needs to win this engagement. The Pulse Bomb comes in from Soon. He's not going to get anybody with it, but still, it's going to be Zebasai winning that sniper battle. He's going to be able to take out but Zebasai with another, takes out Bonifil. Zebasai going crazy here. It's going to be just Havocool alive on the payload. Another shot from Zebasai. Fantastic Widowmaker play. Misfits holds on, takes Gibraltar.
Death from afar is the name of the game here for Misfits, and my God, they make it look good. Buds could have taken them by surprise there. He brought his own Widowmaker in. Misfits weren't set up to play against the Widow because they had a 76 and a Widow of their own up on the platform, no shield to hide behind. So Buds could have snuck in a couple quick headshots and turned that fight right